Okay. Good afternoon to all the participants joined through online mode. I just I want to welcome Dr. Sandeep Kaswan. He's my friend also and having extraordinary talents in livestock as well as in extension field. So I will just read their short biography. Dr. Kaswan completed a bachelor degree in BBSc and AH from Kerala Agriculture University in 2008, master's degree from NDRI Karnal in 2010, and PhD from IVRI Jatnagar. Uh, with senior research fellowship and secured best student silver awards. He has teaching experience for different degrees and diploma programs like BBSc, AH, BTEX, Diploma in Veterinary Science, MBSc, PhD. He has handled 4 research projects as a PI and 3 co-PI of rupees 21 CR from different national agencies. He has guided 3 MBSc students and as a major advisor and 20 MBSc PhD students as co-advisor. He is an active member of several international and national professional societies and published 53 research articles, including 27 in international journals, 4 review articles, 35 extension articles, 1 book, 11 book chapters, and 37 articles in compendium and manuals. He has developed 2 technologies and filed 1 patent also. He is reviewer of 6 international and numerous national journals and participated in 7 international and 14 national conferences, seminars, workshops with 3 lead papers and more than 20 research presentations. He has been a team member to conduct numerous field studies, which were very useful for formulation of state and national policies. He also contributed in the development of app. Dr. Sandeep has delivered 3 TV talks, 8 radio talks, more than 150 expert lectures, and organized several skill development training programs and annual welfare camps. He has also performed judging of animals at several national livestock championships. He has also served as a member of Institutional Animal Ethics Committee of Garhwasu, Ludhiana, in charge of different veterinary and animal husbandry extension education, Farmers Information Center, and different livestock farms. He is also a certified master trainer of ASCI and certified professional of International Federation of Biosafety Association Canada. Dr. Sandeep has received many international and national awards, Professional Brilliant Foundation Fellowship of International Society of Animal Hygiene, Middle Career Society Awards of International Society of Sheep and Goat Production and Utilization, Srimati Kadamini Devi Award of Indian Society of Animal Production Management, Best Teacher Award 2023 of Garhwasu, in addition to 5 Best Research Presentation Awards as a presenter and 8 awards as a co-author in various conferences. With this short biography, I just welcome Dr. Sandeep Kaswan to deliver their lecture.
Thank you, Dr. Chandan. Am I audible to all?
Audible, Dr.
Okay. Thank you for your kind words. Dear participants of winter school organized in collaborative mode by DUASU and NADCL. So I am thankful to the organizers for giving me opportunity to share my views on topic extension tools to boost fodder production and availability to the livestock. So under this topic, we will have say following areas which we will discuss today. That is fodder production status in India, an overview. What are the type of feed and fodder resources available in India? Various feeding practices followed in different parts of country. What are the challenges in effective extension delivery with respect to fodder production? Then various extension approaches or interventions to enhance the fodder production and availability in country. And that will include training programs, on-farm testing, frontline demonstration, farmers field school and modified farmers field school, then participatory innovation, adoption and diffusion, mass media tools, etc. So that we are going to discuss. So we'll start with an overview of fodder production in India. So as you know that we have immense pressure to feed say 17% of human population. We are right now number one in human population. We have surpassed China recently. And in livestock also, we are having neck to neck competition with China. And we are rearing about more than 15% of global livestock. And that too only on 2.4% of land. So that you all are aware. And at the same time, for managing this livestock profitably, it is crucial to reduce the feed cost because the cost of feeding may go may vary from 60 to 75% in the intensive settings. Okay, though in extensive setting, feed cost may decline, but because we are using the common property resources or government resources. Then the type of feed stuff which we feed to livestock, they are broadly categorized into two, that is fodder and concentrate. And fodder also we subcategorize as green and dry. And fodder term we use for any plant which we harvest or cultivate for feeding the livestock. And here one figure which I think all of you are knowing, that the marginal farmers are having less than 1 hectare of land. As we know, so these
ठीक है
marginal farmers,
बहुत बढ़िया सर
uh, kindly mute. Someone is
नमस्ते सर
mic is on,
बैठ जाओ
microphone is on, please. Okay, so marginal farmers are having less than 1 hectare of land, but they rear nearly 20% of livestock. And likewise, small farmer who are having less than say 1 to 2 acre of say 1 to 2 hectare of land, but they also rear nearly 50% of livestock. So you see these two category of farmers, marginal and small, they rear nearly 70% of the livestock wealth, but they are not having sufficient land to grow fodder crops. So that is one of the biggest challenge where we have to make interventions, whatever possible interventions we can make. So that is the major area. Then another important thing which we must know is we are having mixed farming system, most predominant system of farming where livestock and crop are integrated. So here you see we are not actually growing fodder, but most of the farmers they are growing crops for human food requirement, and whatever leftover of that crop is available, so that is used as feed resource for the livestock. So that is the more common practice in the country. So those crop residues which are left over are having low nutritive value, and we keep our animals their maintenance and production we are trying to getting from the residues only. So in addition, if you go into figures or data of fodder production and availability in country, so you see that Indian livestock, though many people commonly say that our germplasm is low producing, but fact is that major problem is with the feed and fodder availability. That is one of the crucial element. And as per one report, our animals are under producing 26 to 51% of their potential because of this feed scarcity. And you see the national figures of shortage or deficiency of green fodder, it is around 11.24%. Shortage of dry fodder is 23.4%, and shortage of concentrate ingredients is say 28 to 36% of what is actually required. And what is required is actually calculated on the basis of assuming that we are having around 230 adult cattle units. So total livestock units have been converted into adult cattle unit because we can easily calculate in that way how much fodder we require. So you know that we have over 500 million of livestock heads of different species, say cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, pig, equine, etc. And that has been converted by taking standard for the formulas into adult cattle units. Okay, so with that assumption, these deficiencies have been projected by the Roy and co-workers in 2019. So you can see this deficiency is huge, and still we cannot take this data precisely because the quantum of green fodder production or dry fodder production is all based on the crop production. But you know that lot of crop residues are burnt and not utilized judiciously. So moving forward, you know that balanced feeding practice is very rare in Indian circumstances if we take the country as a whole. But in some selected states like say Punjab and Haryana, uh, there are relatively more people who are adopting this practice in the commercial setting. But still their number is very less. Okay, so it is very rare practice. And again, in this area we have to do a lot of work. And say for giving balanced feed in the form of say total mixed ration nowadays, many progressive farmers, instead of feeding green fodder separately, dry fodder or concentrate, total mixed ration is more common in practice. But still, even those who are trying to balance the feed, they do not feed as per the categories, different type of categories. And that too, information is very limited. Information is available with the in the hand of farmers about the requirement of feed for different category of animals, how it is required, how to make the balanced feed. So local literature is very redundant. Now coming to the various feeding practices or resources available uh, throughout the country, their magnitude if we see. So maximum quantity as if say livestock feed is available in the form of crop residues. As just now we have discussed that these are not actually fodder. So crop residues and agricultural byproducts constitute more than 50% of the livestock feed. So this is the, you can say, major category of nutrient available to the Indian livestock. So these are mainly say available in the form of straw of say wheat or paddy, wheat or say that is most common form. Then there may be other coarse straw, leguminous straw, and sugarcane tops and other agricultural byproducts. Region-wise, area-wise, there is lot of variation. These are utilized for feeding the livestock. Then another category is cultivated fodder, where exclusively people are growing green fodder to feed the livestock. So that practice is very less. You can say only 5% of cropped area is used for fodder cultivation, and this 5% figure is almost static since many decades. So we are having limited scope of enhancing it. Though target is to go up to 10% of the crop area to grow as fodder, but still we are having shortage of land. And surplus is it is stored in the form of hay, particularly for legumes, and in the form of silage for cereals. So that practice is also having a lot of entrepreneurship potential. In Punjab, silage making is growing very fast because government is also supporting with 50% subsidy. Then another type is common grazing lands, common property resources. So nearly 16% land is available, but still this land is declining. Then many non-conventional feed, which is not often fed, but in case of small ruminants, these are utilized. These are tree leaves or maybe edible weeds, or sometimes agro-industrial byproducts. So byproducts of industries, not agricultural byproducts we are talking here, agro-industrial products. So these include rice bran, wheat bran, extracts of groundnut, the brewery waste, oil industry waste, etc. Okay, so these are also used for feeding the livestock. So here you can see a photograph I have taken from pig farmer farm in Mansa district of Punjab. He has made these two pits. Recently, he has made these two pits to rear pigs exclusively on liquid brewery waste. So he's one of the relative is already rearing pigs completely on liquid brewery waste. He's rearing pigs. So he is also shifting from grain feeding to completely rearing pigs on liquid brewery waste. Okay, so you can see the agro industrial byproduct which is used for rearing the livestock. Then crop residues, I told you this is the largest chunk of feed available to Indian livestock, which include rice straw, which is you can say traditional crop of southern India and northeastern India, particularly you can say. But in Punjab also it is cultivated nowadays, in Haryana also, and you know that burning of paddy straw is one of the major climatic issue in northern India in winter season, and a lot of nutrients are also lost in that way. But it is otherwise a major source of nutrients in other parts of country. Because traditionally, you can see here significance of extension, because people are traditionally habitual of feeding wheat straw to their animals as a dry fodder. They are not habitual in Punjab and Haryana to feed rice straw, despite the fact that rice straw is having higher nutritive value in comparison to wheat straw. And now few companies have already started working in public-private partnership to make, say, silage utilizing the rice straw. So that is now in the pilot study stage. Then wheat straw, you know that it is used in northern and central India as a common dry fodder. Then sorghum, pulse millet, guar, etc. are used in western and coastal areas of India. Then pulse straw, groundnut haulm, and this sugarcane top, etc. are used in many parts of country. But you see that if we talk about the crop residue from cereals or from legumes, the quality of legumes is very good, and you can reduce concentrate also to some extent if you are having good quality legume straw available with you. Okay, but thing is that the cereal straws are increasing more in quantum than the legume straw. Then the availability of cultivated fodder. If you see, I told you it is a static figure, nearly 5% area of total cropped area is used for growing the fodder, that is exclusively for feeding livestock. But target is 10%. And but this 5% land contributes nearly 88% of total green fodder, whatever we produce. It is mainly, so you can say rest is naturally grown in the fallow land, or maybe in the wastelands, or some are in the forest areas also, in the adjoining areas of human habitation. Then major fodder crops are the sorghum, barsim, lucerne, maize, bajra, and cowpea and oat. They constitute more than 50% of the total fodder crops which are under cultivation. And some perennial grasses are also important here. Bajra and its cross, that is hybrid napier, which is very popular in southern India nowadays. In terms of quantity of or yield, high yield we obtain. Guinea grass is considered of very good quality grass. Then bracharia, marvel, steria, ryegrass, etc. are also used as perennial grasses. That means you can keep on harvesting it for a few years, 2 to 3 or 4 years. Then some perennial legumes like Desmanthus, Stylosanthus, Cliteria, etc. are also used in the southern India to feed the livestock. So here you can see photograph share available at the website of IGFRI, the Indian Grassland Fodder Research Institute, which is the nodal institute for all India coordinated research project on forage crops and utilization. So this is the institute which has done a lot of work in last over 5 decades, and more than 330 varieties of different type of fodders have been developed by IGFRI and its regional stations. And here you can also see in right photograph the important diseases of some major fodder crops notified by, again, AICRP FCU, that is forage crops and utilization. Then next, you can see the this green fodder availability. Though we are in shortage of around say 12%, nearly 12% figure, but there are some states where availability of green fodder is surplus, and those are say Haryana, Punjab, Mizoram. We are saying it's surplus in terms of per animal basis, say based on the national average or say for the requirement of the livestock. But here you are aware that in Punjab and Haryana, the per animal productivity is relatively very high. So nearly 13 kilogram is the average daily yield of crossbred in the Punjab, followed by in the Kerala. So this surplus figure may not be clearly indicating that it is surplus to dispose of to other states where it is deficiency. Though it figure shows surplus, but there are farmers which are most of the farmers are unsatisfied that they are not able to feed their animals as per their requirement. Okay, even there are some good farms where wet average is around 25 kilograms per animal, and they need nearly 1 acre of land for nearly 1.5 to 2 cattle units. So requirement of fodder is still very high in these states, but it has been seen that where the green fodder is surplus, the productivity of animal is relatively high. So that means we have to make efforts to enhance the availability of fodder to other parts of country also. You can see here green areas in the left figure where green fodder is surplus. So there are only hardly 5 states where you can see the surplus green fodder is there. Then in the right figure, you can see surplus dry fodder in green color, whereas most of the colors are red. That indicates there is shortage, acute shortage in many states of green as well as dry fodder. Then you can see the dry fodder availability. What dry fodder we are getting mainly it is from the food grains we have already discussed. Then some is coming from the some part is available in from the forest areas. Then from the pulse crops and other segments. And these grazing resources are, though we have large area for grazing, especially national average around 40% of area is available for grazing, but that is not utilized. It is fully not utilized for livestock rearing. Very less part of it, nearly 16% of that is used for livestock feeding. And in Himachal, J&K, Meghalaya, Nagaland, and Arunachal Pradesh, that is, you can see along the Himalayan coast, Himalayan range, these states are having more than 70% grazing resources in the form of natural vegetation, but again, it is not fully utilized. And this green is available in good quantity for half of the year, nearly you can say half of the year, 4 to 5 months of monsoon period, there is availability of sufficient green. And for additional 1 to 2 months also, some dried form of this green is also available. But for rest of the time, animals remain in the fodder scarcity stress. And you can see the pressure of feeding on these grazing resources, that grazing intensity is nearly 13 to 14 times to that of the developed countries. That means per hectare of land, nearly 13 adult cattle unit we are rearing, whereas in developed countries, less than 1 adult cattle unit per hectare of land is reared. And here we have to make some man-made intervention where we can enhance the grazing resources for livestock to to the extent of 10. Make effort extension as well as to improve the diffusion availability of fodder to the Indian livestock. So here, role of Indian Council of Agriculture Research as the central authority and the state agriculture universities as the regional authorities to take lead is important. And since more than 5 decades, these institutions, government institutions, have developed so many varieties, so many enhanced varieties which give enhanced fodder production. But if you see their impact, it is not as it was desired. Okay, though it has increased the production and availability, but still we are lacking because our major focus has remained on the crops rather than fodder, and on the livestock breeds and other aspects of agriculture rather than the fodder. So fodder has, you can say, remained by and large a neglected segment. But the nodal institute, that is IGFRI, Indian Grassland Fodder Research Institute in Jhansi, and its regional stations, uh, in the form of AICRP FCU that started in 1970. So nearly, you can say, 54 years of its inception, they have developed more than 330 high-yielding varieties of different fodder crops in different parts of country. And that through the 22 coordinated research centers in the different parts of country, and along with that 22, say 20 volunteer centers also. Volunteer means they are non-funding units. They are voluntarily working as per the plan of AICRP FCU. And they releases the new varieties, many hybrids also, and with the detailed package of practice for the adoption of farmers. But unfortunately, many of these varieties do not reach in the hands of end user, that is farmers, to adopt it, because we will discuss what are the reasons why this adoption is not happening successfully. So that we will discuss today. So what are the challenges in diffusion? Is we can see despite having huge entrepreneurship potential, agribusiness potential, because of scarcity of fodder, that is by and large untapped. Reason are that there is a lot of disparity, differences in fodder production and availability, area-wise different type of fodder, and season-wise also there is disparity in the fodder. So that is one of the challenge. Then another challenge is the post-harvest storage facilities are very limited. Then rice straw burning is one of the major challenge because we produce a huge quantum of rice straw in the country. Then there is a limitation of a marketing aspect as well as the utilization aspect, especially because of bulky nature of the this fodder and fodder residues, crop residues especially. So they are very bulky, so transportation mostly becomes costly. If I give you example, say in Punjab, this goat farming is more popular. It is becoming popular since last 15 to 20 years. Many people are moving towards goat farming, but the availability of legumes are very limited in Punjab, so they are dependent in on the Rajasthan. And if you see these legume residues, the particularly you see the gram residues, groundnut residues, and these stovers and all, these are procured from Rajasthan. So those districts which are just near to the Rajasthan border, there it costs around 300 rupees quintal. Whereas if you go to far-flung areas, say to the Pathankot, which is bordering the Himachal Pradesh, it is reaching there at the rate of 900 to 1,000 rupees quintal. So in that way, transportation is very costly, but still people are dependent on the limited feed fodder resources. And another reason is perishable nature also. You cannot store, especially the green, you cannot store for long. Even if you make the silage, you have to utilize it in few months, and that too under the strictly anaerobic condition, controlled condition. You have to store it, and likewise here also you have to utilize it before rainy season. Say accordingly, if you have if you have made it in the month of March or April. So these are the challenges. Now, how we can effectively tackle these challenges? So there is, for adoption of any improved technology or method, there are two aspects. One is the dissemination of information, that is via communication, and another is the enhancement of the skill or practice of the people or actions of the people by the education. So these are the two elements. Many times we succeed in disseminating information, but we may not succeed in disseminating the right skill or right actions. Actions are not changed. People's actions are not changed. So for successful dissemination, we have to send the information successfully. At the same time, we have to enhance their skill by practical exposure. So that how that is possible, we will discuss many techniques and their success stories also. So farmers, especially, they have phobia to say new terminologies, new whenever we say some new technology or new terms. Majority of the farmers, they have phobia to accept it because they are habitual of utilizing the traditional varieties, traditional crops. So whenever we say some new variety of that too, especially with the English name, so farmers are hesitant to accept it. So it starts with the name of the variety that farmer start hesitating. So there is there is need of say keeping the names which are farmer friendly for these varieties. At the same time, we have to make intervention through the demonstrations, practical demonstrations, or you can say on-farm trainings rather than the off-farm training, where farmers can practically see the variety, practically see the advantages in the form of growth or yield per unit of the land, and any other such benefit. So when farmers directly see, then advantage, then the rate of adoption will be higher. So for that purpose, that whatever variety that has been developed by, say, carrying out research for several years, so that variety and its characteristics along with its package of practices where complete detail about the sowing of the that seeds, about its watering frequency, or say pest control strategies, or its harvesting time and other aspects. All the management aspects should be clearly converted into vernacular language. These are to be translated into the vernacular language, and then it has to be disseminated by various public and private institutions in the form of, say, posters or flip charts or pamphlets. Okay, those are the traditional approaches, but their digital forms nowadays can be circulated on, say, social medias also, in the farmers groups also. But thing is that the content which we are creating about those varieties is very, very critical. That content creation and processing of content about that particular variety is the crucial aspect, where also we have to make intervention in addition to what efforts we make in the research for developing a variety. And here the public institutions role is crucial, especially for the perennial fodder crops, because for the annual fodder crops or crops which are harvested only in a single cut, so they many companies are even popularizing it, or even in the market of trading these single cut varieties. But for perennial varieties, because the private players have say limited benefits in perennial varieties, so public institutions have to play more important role, because in the perennial varieties, the cost of preparation of land and the sowing cost will be reduced, because for several years we get the yield from the variety once sown in the land. Okay, and at the same time, these public institutions, whether these are Krishi Vigyan Kendras or state agriculture universities or the ICR institutes or farmer science centers. So these have to play vital role in the form of say conducting on-farm training as well as say developing literature which is farmer friendly. And in addition, advanced technologies are also available that we will discuss in today's discussion. That is coming to the role of private organizations, though are limited companies which are working on fodder crops, but they mostly work on the annual fodder crop, as I just now I told you, because their main motive is profit making. So they generally don't deal with the perennial fodder crops. So for perennial fodder crops, despite having many additional advantages, the private players are not much active, and role of government will be more crucial in this area. And as I told you, we have whatever package of practice we develop, that should be thorough and it should be farmer friendly. It should have the complete harvest schedule and management practices details, including how much dry matter will be produced, what are the anti-nutritional factor if we harvest at early age. So right, all the description should be there, and that content what we prepare it should be processed by the experts who are having not only knowledge about the variety, scientific knowledge, technical knowledge about variety, but also the expert should have knowledge about the farmers' psychology, farmers' practices, farmers' language. So such experts should develop the package of practice for these varieties. So that is crucial for effective dissemination of information about that variety or fodder crop. So in addition, I told you we cannot leave the traditional practices of trainings when we talk about the extension. Trainings are very important, and off-farm trainings are effective in dissemination of information, but they are not effective in dissemination of skills. So for that purpose, on-campus trainings are more vital. And here we need creativity also in training programs, because farmers are not that much excited about trainings on fodder crops, because fodder crops is just like, you can say, luxury for small farmers. Okay, because they are having very limited land, and traditionally they grow 2 to 3 crops in that land every year, and replacing that land with fodder, that too perennial fodder, means they are blocking their land for say a few years. So that is very difficult for farmer to accept that they have to utilize a portion of their land for fodder production. So that is a big challenge for ordinary farmer to come up for the say on-campus training also. So we have to have creativity to attract the farmer, to convince the farmer that if some land is dedicatedly used for growing fodder crops, or maybe perennial fodder crops, that is going to give round the year fodder nutrients to the livestock, which is essential, and what profit will be generated in that term will be higher than the traditional crop which farmer is growing. So that quantum, that benefit, if it is visible to the farmer, then only farmer is going to adopt it. Okay, and already if you know the theory of innovation or theory of entrepreneurship, hardly say 16% of people, they accept the new things easily. Okay, otherwise majority of the people, they are hesitant to adopt some new technology or new training. So trainings on fodder crops is not a big attraction for the farmer, and there we have to be more creative. Okay, and there I told you we have to use the vocabulary that is friendly with the farmers, and at the same time we have to highlight the benefits. Multiple benefits should be there. Okay, that if we go with the fodder crop harvesting, but especially you can suggest intercropping also in those areas where orchards are grown, or say some horticulture is done. So their intercropping of fodder crop can be initially say explored, and later on when farmers find it beneficial, they can grow the fodder area. So in that way, creativity is important. And here demonstration of all the practices, especially the sowing, is crucial. So because different fodder varieties need different sowing pattern. So first hand demonstration is important. Okay, or frontline demonstration is important. So that has to be done. And in for that purpose, we need support of various public institutions, government institutions, and wherever there is limitation, then we can think about the ambassadors in the form of farmers, successful farmers or progressive farmers, where they are taking the lead as extension worker or as a key communicator, and they will be disseminating technology to other farmers. So what we call it farmers field school. So we may identify some of the progressive farmers who have have been benefited by this improved fodder variety, and then they are torch bearer for other farmers. Okay, so we can choose them, we can facilitate them. Okay, so as extension worker here can act as a moderator, role of moderator, and go to the farmer's field and demonstrate the farmer, other farmers who can take up this fodder production. So here it is crucial. I told you that we provide information in the vernacular language, local language, and that too we should try to demonstrate each and every activity first-hand experience. Okay, and even some farmer should be allowed to do it by their own hand. Okay, because you know that learning by doing is much effective than learning by seeing. So that practice is specially conducted in farmers field school also. So the precise information should be given. There should not be ambiguity in disseminating the information. So that what information you are giving, it should be exactly replicated by the farmer. Okay, so you can give the leaflet of the complex information where there are calculations or where there is figure or data, because farmer may forget it. Okay, so you should try to give a free literature wherever alongside the training and demonstration, so that the data which they cannot remind should be available in their hands. And the hay making and silage making are especially two practices which are crucial in the irrigated areas, where we have sometimes surplus of fodder in the say post monsoon month and in the winter months. So this surplus can be utilized for lean period. So this is coming up in big way, especially in Punjab. I'm talking where 50% subsidy is given to the farmer who are creating the silage making facilities for making their pits and for purchasing the machinery for the baling of the silage and for wrapping machine. 50% subsidy is being given by the NDDB and its subsidiary in the Punjab. And even in Punjab, if you see all the large farmer as well as medium farmers, they are doing silage making. Only say small farmers, they are not practicing it, but still they also are interested in doing the bag silaging and all. So that is about the training. And here one success story I am specially mentioning here, conducted by the Southern Regional Research Station of IGFRI in the Karnataka. So there they conducted on-campus training in small groups. Okay, small groups means effective delivery of information. You can focus on individual farmers, and based on their resources, studying their resources, what resources they are having, accordingly varieties, suitable varieties were suggested to them. Then the content which was delivered in the form of lecture along with the literature which was given, that was properly processed, so that that information is imbibed or successfully understood by the farmers, and their classroom as well as field orientation, first-hand experience was given to the farmer about the various management aspects of the fodder crop. and multiple benefits were clearly outlined to the farmers, and training was conducted as per their timings of the lean period of the farmers where they are free. So in that way, this training programs, on campus training programs, with these programs, the southern station of IGFRI, they succeeded in adoption of 6 perennial grasses and 3 legumes in the southern area with high productivity. So they were successful with this approach, where they made small groups and resource based dissemination of information about varieties. And here they conducted the farmer to farmer say approach, where some progressive farmers were selected to deliver information in their field, where other farmers are getting first-hand experience, live demonstrations of all the stages. Whenever they uh, feel free, they can come and see the growth stages of the fodder and yield and other information also. So generally, these farmers field school are not short training, but these are usually long training. Okay, and where the training program can be divided into different sessions, important sessions, or some critical stages of growth from sowing to harvesting. Different stages can be selected, and accordingly, say fortnightly or at the required interval, the farmers can gather and knowledge can be exchanged. So that is how farmers field school help in farmers in benefiting the other pre-identified farmers. Here it is important that the potential farmers, new farmers who are willing to take technology, they should be identified earlier, so that our farmers field school remain successful, or it is replicated by these pre-identified farmers. Okay, and here they learn by sharing their experiences, especially those who are having earlier experience, past experience of growing some fodder. And moderator can also take intervention wherever required. Moderator means here extension worker in farmers field school, where farmer is the teacher or demonstrator, active demonstrator, but simultaneously the extension worker will remain present to explain the things wherever it is required. So this farmers field school is gives the holistic approach, which sometimes miss in the training programs conducted by the government institutions. So that's why they can learn about almost all the aspects of fodder production and harvesting. So here farmers learn by experimenting and by discovering. Okay, so experiential as well as discovery principles, learning principles are followed in the farmers field school, and these became more successful if there are collaboration of different stakeholders. For example, say the ICR Institute or State Agriculture University, they may be developing the fodder variety. So research part is taken care by them, or maybe extension activity also may be taken care by them. And animal husbandry department may be involved, say, to identify the farmers who are progressive or who are having the mindset to accept the change, positive change. So such farmers should be pre-identified. So such farmers can be good for this farmers field school, and the farmers group, that is farmer themselves, they are important for success of such farmers field school. Now, this again another success story from the same Southern Regional Research Station of IGFRI. You can see this was little modified farmers field school. So here they have divided the farmers field schools program into say 7 sessions of you can say at different interval to demonstrate various topics or various stages of fodder production. Okay, so whenever important activities need demonstration, accordingly, this program was designed. Okay, so 7 sessions of 2 hours each was designed, and the whole session were recorded by them. And these, after completion of this farmers field school program, the many other farmers, they also adopted, and they had took advantage of this improved varieties of fodder. And later on, the policymakers also, they were also say impressed by these videos, and these videos were demonstrated at each block of that region in the Karnataka. And so it became a big success story in the form of modified farmers field school. Then another important strategy for effective dissemination of fodder related technology is participatory innovation, adoption, and diffusion. So here again, it is improved version of, you can say, farmers field school, where hand holding is given by the government agencies. That means, say, the ICR Institute or maybe state agriculture universities who have developed the improved variety. They identified the areas or farmers who have, say, such suitable land where fodder can be utilized. So with some incentive, such farmers may be given some improved seedlings of or stock of this fodder, new fodder, which can be used for uh, growing in their, say, barren land, or maybe partially land is used for fodder production. So especially I'm giving example of the another success story from on which worked on the PIAD mode, that is participatory innovation, adoption, and diffusion. So where farmer not only accepted the technology, adopted the technology, but the farmer did research or trial, and whatever outcome, beneficial outcome, that was shared among the other farmers, and it was diffused in the field. So what happened here actually, the Southern Regional Research Station of IGFRI, they identified the many mango orchards where free space was available for fodder crop intercropping of some fodder varieties which are suitable for intercropping. And the nearly 50 farms were identified, okay, in the 19 villages, and 16 different type of fodder seeds were given to those farmers. So they all say grown the varieties in the intercropping model in the mango orchards, and whatever outcome was obtained by different farmers, that was documented by themselves, and the beneficial varieties, these were replicated to other farmers also. So here you can see the multiple benefits obtained. The fodder deficiency was reduced to only 9% from 50% in that those farms, and the feed cost reduced to 47% at their farms, and milk yield was increased to 0.93 liter per day per animal, and same time labor hours also reduced by, say, 0.91 man days every day. So with that, these multiple benefits which they derived by intercropping of 16 different type of fodder in say 19 villages, other farmers, they rapidly accepted this varieties, this practice method, and 45% of the fodder area was increased in a few years, and 12 farmers converted into the commercial dairy farmer because they had additional fodder availability, and time was also saved. So they reached up to the commercial level of marketing over 100 liter of milk per day. And at the same time, you can see in this approach, there are three steps, crucial steps, which are happening. First is the skill building exercise. Another is the innovation and adoption. And third one is the resource sharing, where the inter or intra farmer spread of the cropping area for fodder crops took place. So this is another very successful model, participatory innovation adoption diffusion model, which was a huge success and appreciated at various platforms. Another approach can be satellite fodder farm, where farmer is actually not doing research. So you can say here technical assistance or monetary assistance can be given to the farmers, and then these farmers can disseminate the same method, same technology to other farmers. But here thing is that it is successful in those areas only where there are more farmers who are willing to adopt these fodder varieties. So this satellite fodder model is having limited potential only. So where say new farmers are available to take the model of fodder production. Then coming to the other extension strategies or consideration, that is especially important for say multimedia or for the ICT tools, information communication technology methods nowadays, which we look for spreading the desirable information in a rapid way. So here I told you that content creation and processing is very important. What information about fodder crops or varieties we are producing, it should be region or area specific. Okay, many varieties have been developed by IGFRI, which are having wider utility. That means these are suitable for central India as well as western India as well as parts of northern India. But you see that we generally say that after every 20 miles, language changes in India. There is modification or little variation in the language. So accordingly, for different areas, we have to develop the literature for specific to that area to adopt that particular variety. So, and that too in local terminologies. For example, for as a land unit, because for fodder crops, we generally tell all the inputs in terms of land. So land unit may be used differently in different areas. Like in Punjab, Marla is very commonly used. Okay, likewise, Kunta, Biga, Cent are used in different parts of country. Instead of using acre or hectare, which is very commonly used, but by and large, these are not understood by majority of the farmers. So we should try to convert the literature as per the local context. Okay, so whatever are the target areas, so we have to accordingly develop literature in all those for suitable for those all those areas. So linguistic differences should be narrowed down to meet the end users demand. That is the target for making any extension literature for distribution, as well as the lectures which we are developing should meet these requirements. And at the same time, because a lot of investment is made for developing these proven varieties of or improved varieties of fodder, so some investment towards creating content, suitable content for dissemination, will definitely have additional advantage. Okay, so that attempt should be made by all the research institutions who are working on the fodder varieties. Now, very pertinent or new technologies which are important for dissemination are the multimedia tools or multimedia methods based on the ICT, information communication technology. So, as you know that more than half of the Indians, they are having smartphones now. As per the report of last year's report, India Internet Report 2023, half of the population is having smartphone, and maximum number users are in the Gujarat, Punjab, and Haryana, where nearly 90% of the farmers were having smartphones. And in the rural areas, nearly half of the people are using internet nowadays. And so those half of the rural Indian people who are using internet, for them, these ICT tools will be beneficial to disseminate information related to fodder. So here we can you create the content, maybe audio content, maybe audio visual content, which can disseminate the information effectively. So if you see the various applications of internet used by the people, you can see that WhatsApp is most commonly used method by the people, especially in the rural area. You see, majority of the people are nowadays using WhatsApp, followed by YouTube, and some are using Facebook, and Google is also extensively used. So for this ICT tool, you already know that we have to create all the literature, just like content creation for training program or for developing any literature. So here also for ICT, we have to be very careful about creating the content. choosing the pictures, choosing the text for the audio recording or maybe for video preparation. So it has to be created in the vernacular language or maybe area specific, many languages it has to be converted or translated. And this content should be supportive for wide range of tools. So nowadays we say mostly these are built for the Android phones, but other say Apple phone and other, though farmers rarely use it, but in Punjab people, there are farmers who use Apple phone also in the villages. So especially the previous series of the Apple or versions or older versions of the Apple they are used. So this content should be created for the wide range of tools, and the infrastructure should be ensured. If say in far-flung areas or in the remote areas, these are not available with the people. At least some stations should be facilitated with these facilities. And but there is a limitation of ICT. We can easily disseminate information, but the skills dissemination is difficult. So for that purpose, we have to still remain dependent on the say on-campus trainings or say farmers field school or other approaches. But of course, with audio-visual aids, many skills can also be learned by practice by the farmers. Then other ICT tools, radio, it has penetrated so deeply in the Indian villages that still it is one of the largest mode of dissemination of improved information to the people. And it has been modified as FM and community radios in many parts, and accordingly, the regional relevance is still there. Then TV has been effective medium, and now it is being replaced by the internet and Internet of Things and other artificial, say, intelligence related apps. Then kiosks are also effective. They have been effective for some time, and still in some areas these are effective. And likewise in melas and ATICs, these digital floor stands are used for disseminating the information. Telephone is used by still a good number of people, especially the Kisan call center. They are getting, even I tried it in my area, and we are getting the correct information. I have tried it many times. So farmer tele advisors, they assist the people. So though very technical information may not be easily obtained, but the superficial information farmers can immediately get through this Kisan call center. Likewise, interactive voice response system, where pre-recorded response for based on the frequently asked question is easily benefiting a large number of people. And the internet is a lot of apps, knowledge networks, portals are being developed every day, and a lot of, now there is information explosion, you can say. A lot of information is available at the click of the finger, but choosing the right information for right people is crucial here. And at our university in Ludhiana, also we have so many apps and facilities for related to ICT for the farmer. Especially two dedicated numbers are available in the form of Pashupalak Tele Advisory Kendra, where farmers can call from Monday to Friday 9 to 5 to get information. Then online digital magazine is there in vernacular language, which farmer can be benefited with. Then there are some app also available. MOOC courses are also available. And then YouTube channel of Gadwasu is also providing a lot of information, especially the fodder related information we are having in lot of useful lectures about paddy straw utilization and silage making, hay making. So many videos of different critical stages have been demonstrated. So way ahead for this fodder production area is that we need a national program for accelerating the fodder production and its effective utilization, because a lot of paddy straw which is generated in Punjab is burned, which can be otherwise utilized in other areas if it is not utilized here at the disposal of farmer. And we need grassland and grazing policy also, just like say policy for crop production or livestock breeds. So it should be there. There should be linkages among different stakeholders. There should be focused research and development approach for fodder varieties, region-specific, area-specific fodder varieties. Though government is or institutes are doing very well, but dissemination part is still need emphasis. And then the commercial venture in fodder production and utilization need impetus. And in this area, again, government is doing well. Especially this Manage Hyderabad is also providing ACABC program, Agri Clinic and Agri Business Incubation Center. So that is also providing free of cost training to the youth, educated youth, if they want to do entrepreneurship in fodder production area. But still, these are areas where we can have a lot of scope to work. And these are two web resources linkage. You can see website where if you refer, you can get a lot of information about the fodder in the India, and especially this digital green portal. If you go at this website, they even provide technical assistance to make the videos under the field condition. So they are playing crucial role in many rural areas. Okay, so thank you. With that, I end my presentation, and I invite queries for discussion if you have any.
If queries are there, you can ask. I think Dr. Sandeep, you've explained so nicely, and it is everyone I think understand properly.
Thank you, Dr.
So
Chandan. Thank you.
and very nice presentation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chandan, for giving me opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. साहब आपने समय दिया.
Thanks a lot for sharing my views. Please, if you have any query, please come forward. Though I am not fodder